So are you sitting there right now, maybe around 10 years old, looking at all the adults around you and thinking that the really great, world-changing adventures only happen when you finally grow up? Like, are you just entirely tired of waiting around for your real life to begin? Well, welcome to today's Explainer. We are exploring a super interesting guidebook from way back in 1897 called The Architecture of a Consecrated Youth. And let me tell you, it has a very direct message just for you. Okay, let's dive right in. Are you waiting to do something amazing? Because if you are, you need to stop waiting right now. The author's absolute main point here is that putting off great things until you're an adult is a massive trap. Your youth isn't just a waiting room. It's actually the most critical building phase of your entire life. Which brings us to section 1, not just a kid. Our guidebook today is anchored in this really powerful idea from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth. What does this mean in plain English? Basically, nobody should look down on you just because you're a kid. And honestly, more importantly, you shouldn't look down on yourself. This ancient advice is telling young people that you are fully capable of being an awesome example to everyone around you right now, like today, in how you speak, how you love, and how you live your day-to-day life. Now, this old text calls childhood a time of probation. I know, it's a heavy, kind of old-fashioned word, right? But think of it like being in the ultimate real-life training level. It's literally the tutorial in a video game, but for your actual life. God desires you to use this specific time to obtain a fitness for the work. You aren't just doing schoolwork or chores to pass the time. You are actively getting fit, leveling up your skills, and building the exact stats you are going to need for the big missions ahead of you. Let's move on to section 2, build your own path. It's one thing to say you're in a training level, but how do you actually play the game? Well, the advice here is super clear. Do not sit around waiting for a chance to do something good. If you want an education, set your mind to get one. Make your own opening, and take hold of any small thing that opens before you and do it thoroughly. That means doing your daily chores, organizing your room, or even just helping a neighbor, and doing it with absolute excellence. Doing those small tasks really well, that is exactly how you build your path to greatness. Now check this out. The text has this old-fashioned warning against vacillating. It's a really funny-sounding word, but it basically means wobbling around, being indecisive, and doing absolutely nothing. Imagine wasting half your life just trying to pick a lane. The author warns that some young people spend so much time vacillating that their lifetime is half over before they even decide who they want to be. The takeaway is clear. Pick a good direction right now and start moving, even if it's just taking the smallest of steps. That leads us into section 3, save for what matters. This brings us to a huge, huge trap, buying silly things. The text warns you not to bury your talents under a mass of rubbish by spending your means on appetite or pleasure-seeking. So, in everyday terms, don't blow all your allowance, your energy, and your free time on endless video games, junk food, and fleeting sweets. Instead, the author urges you to practice economy. Save your treasure, gather knowledge, and invest your resources into things that actually build up your future self. So what's the actual recipe for making your mark? It's a very specific formula. Mixing your school books and hard physical work with devotion and loyalty to God, that creates great men and women in the highest possible sense. Furthermore, studying the sciences mixed with a love for God creates gentle, humble people who are incredibly useful to the world. It's not just about being smart, It's about mixing a really sharp mind, hard work, and a good heart. And finally, section 4, the ultimate role model. Because it's pretty hard to build something without a picture of what it should look like in the end, the text presents Jesus as the absolute master blueprint. The author points out that he didn't just die to save people from their sins, but he lived in a very specific way to provide the perfect, flawless example for you to follow during your training level. It's the ultimate guide to having a truly successful life. The author breaks down Jesus' example into these really clear daily steps. Step 1 is to deny self, which basically means putting others first. Step 2, take up your cross daily. That means doing the right thing every single day, even when it is really, really hard. Step 3 is to follow his example in exactly how you treat people. And step 4, I think this is absolutely vital for anyone right in the middle of their childhood training level, learn cheerfully. Actually, scratch that. It's not just learning, it's diligently and cheerfully learning the lessons put in front of you. Not groaning, not complaining about having to study or do your chores, but keeping a cheerful attitude through all of it.
And the guidebook ends with this incredible, beautiful promise. It says that if you follow this blueprint, if you walk in obedience, work hard, don't vacillate, and truly make your mark, you will receive this welcoming reward straight from Jesus at the very end of your training. Child, come up higher to the heavenly mansions which I have prepared for you. It's basically the ultimate victory screen for a life well lived. So, I want to leave you with one final question to spark your own building project the exact moment this explainer ends. Remember, you are not just a kid waiting around for the clock to tick. You are in the training level right now. So look around you. What small task can you do perfectly today? What new thing can you learn cheerfully? What kind of mark will you start building today?